Hey guys, it's YellowMaster69 and today we're going to be making the M321 Port Firing Weapon in this gun guide video. So what you're going to need is the M4, obviously. And this is going to be harder for people who didn't play Season 0, because I don't think there's any other way to get the OG blueprint. But if you have the OG blueprint, you should use the OG. So I use the OG weapon, and then so what you want is no stock, frangible wounding, or you could put sleight of hand. Well, you could use whatever perk you want, but the most advantageous for you would be either frangible wounding or sleight of hand. I have rubberized grip tape, I have the commando barrel, and I have the compensator. So the reason for this setup, well, the commando barrel and the no stock are what you need to make it a M321. So the compensator is just for the recoil due to the lack of stock. In real life, this thing wouldn't have a compensator, because this thing is not supposed to be taken out of a tank in real life. I think you can fire it, because it's a tank port firing gun that is basically like a modified, I don't know if it's like it looks like an M16, but I don't know if it is like a modified M16 or M4. But yeah, this thing shoots like 1,200 rounds per minute, I believe, which we'll get into when we get to the facts section, because then I can actually search it up and then relay that to you guys. But yeah, we're just going with the iron sights. We have no stock, compensator, rubberized grip tape, we have frangible wounding, and then we have the commando barrel. Alright, so let's go to the firing. I want to say that this is pre-4 balancing patch. Well, I guess it's good that I didn't, because it would have been outdated. But I originally had made a video based on this one, just never got uploaded, and basically got lost because I was cleaning out my PS4 and I accidentally had deleted the video for this video. But since I'm remaking it anyways, and this is after the patch, we get to see how this weapon will perform after the patch. I did not read the patch notes. I do know that this gun got nerfed. I don't know how it got nerfed. So that'll be interesting. Alright. So I do have an M16 class, just so that we can compare it to that. And actually, now that I think about it, let's... Well, fuck. Okay, that didn't kill me. Shit. Okay, never mind. I guess we're not gonna be comparing it today. So, anyways, so let's do recoil, aim down sights, no compensating for it. So it kicks super hard to the right. It's gonna be like that. This is gonna be ADS with me compensating for recoil.
Running low.
It's still kicking hard to the right, so just so that you see that. This would be aim. This is gonna be hip fire with the no compensating for recoil. Alright, and hip fire. Yeah, so with the attachments that I have on this gun in regards to the rubberized grip tape and trying to remember what else I put on this to decrease recoil, but oh, the compensator. I feel like the compensator definitely does its job. I have no idea how much the rubberized grip tape is doing to help completely, to be completely honest, but this is definitely not a gun that you want to engage at far range with anyways. So if you're going to be using this weapon, obviously you want to just use it like an SMG, get in close, and as you saw, like the assisted recoil is not actually too bad. Or when you aim down sights, it's not too bad. At least not in my opinion. So let's get to the facts. The M321 Firing Port Weapon is an adapted version of the M16 assault rifle, which is meant to be shooting from firing ports of the M2 Bradley. It was designed by Rock Island Arsenal, and it still remains in service today, although all the rear two firing ports on the Bradley have been removed. This weapon has been in service since 1980. It's been used in the Gulf War in Iraq. Weighs 7 pounds empty, and with the 30 round magazine it weighs 8 pounds with the full magazine. It actually has a 15-inch barrel. On here we actually have the commando barrel, which the reasoning why I have the commando barrel on this weapon is more so, okay, where is it? So if you wanted to be more accurate to this weapon, you would be using this barrel, which is the TAC-LITE. You'd be using the TAC-LITE barrel. The reason I'm using the commando barrel is because originally when I was creating this version of the port firing weapon, I was trying to recreate the Patriot from Metal Gear, which, as you know, is also an M321 firing port weapon. So that's how I got this one. So our version has an 11-inch barrel, but the real life one has a 15-inch barrel. So if you would like to be more accurate to the real life one, do use the TAC-LITE barrel. But if, like how I'm going for like the Metal Gear version, I went with the 11-inch commando barrel. So the minimum cyclic rate for this gun is 1,225 rounds per minute. It feeds from 30 round M4 magazines. Sustained short bursts can be like 50-60 rounds per minute, and it's effective up to 300 meters. So it has like a 65% commonality with regular M16 rifles, and that these weapons are only capable of full auto, because basically semi-auto and safe are not on these weapons. For operational use, it's supposed to be using the M196 tracer round, and then the M199 dummy and M200 blank are for training. It says that an emergency M193 ball ammunition was used. The heavier M855 ball and M856 tracer rounds were never used in this weapon. It's not supposed to be used detached from the vehicle unless it's an emergency. So it says that the operator manual lists 4 precautions that would have to be used if you're going to use this weapon outside of your vehicle, because excessive firing will basically cause the muzzle to rise, and that the barrel collar should not be hot when firing and should not be touched. Obviously you need hearing protection if you're gonna shoot something like this, and that you want a brass catching bag or evacuation hose system to be installed on it. This does not, in real life, this is definitely not a gun that you'd want to detach from its, you don't want to detach it from the tank at all, because that sounds like it would be very hard to use. I don't even know if it would work if you detached it from a tank, realistically. I mean, it says it would, but is it practical over whatever you're fielded with? Probably not. They did have a version, the original version did come with like a heavier bolt carrier group, a short barrel, and a wireframe stock. But modern day, it does not come with the wireframe stock because they do not want you taking it out of the vehicle. So that's why the stock was omitted, because there was no purpose for the stock if it's not supposed to come out of the vehicle and it's supposed to stay in the vehicle. And it looks like, based off like the finalized like actual one, that it screws into the firing port, and that's just how it stays. You do not move it from there. What else can I say about this gun? Oh, yeah, it has no sights either. It has the rear sight, but does not have the front sight, the real one. So it would be hard to have any sort of accurate fire with something like this in real life, with the fact that there's no stock, no sights, shooting like 12,000 rounds per minute. It sounds insane, you know. There are a lot of pictures of like soldiers like having them like taken out of like the tank, which that's pretty badass. I mean, if you manage to utilize this thing effectively outside of its intended purpose, that's fucking badass. With a lot of the retired ones, they did take the forearm collars of the weapons and put them on M870 revs, which are basically a non-lethal version of the 870 that are modified to shoot out of rapid entry vehicles. So those are basically like rioter versions of the 870, which that sounds pretty badass. And if it's possible for me to make one of those in this game, which probably isn't, but if I find a way to do it, I will do it. Yeah, it's basically a M16 pistol. It's only full auto, and you're only supposed to use in the tank, and it's fucking badass. So that is the M321. Now I'll show you guys the game.
Kill confirmed. Kill confirmed. We have a personal enemy at the kill confirmed. Personal radar drone ready. Kill confirmed. Kill confirmed. Enemy at the spotted. Allied counter-wing. We have a personal radar drone. Kill confirmed. Get back to it. Enemy at the enemy UAV overhead. Copy that. Fire. We're halfway there. Keep going. Kill confirmed. We have a personal radar drone. Kill confirmed. Enemy UAV overhead. Allies received an airstrike incoming. Beware. Enemy UAV overhead. Enemy confirmed. Enemy cluster strike. Take cover. Kill confirmed. We have a personal radar drone. Copy. Personal radar complete. We've lost a strike. Take cover. It's finished. We have done it.
I'm with you!
gameplay. It's I like using it. It's a really fun gun to use. It was a lot better before the patch. I still don't know what they nerfed on the M4, but whatever they did nerf, it's very tangible feeling. So it's something that I noticed, because when I used to use this setup before the patch, it was a beast. And I mean, it's still pretty great, and it's still super fun to use, but it's just not as strong as I remember it being when I used to use it. And when I used to use it outside of videos, or when I tried to record the original video, it felt a lot stronger. But I still recommend this setup because it is a fun M4 setup. I feel like this is a setup that is semi-used a lot. I know that no stock on the M4 is pretty common to see. Usually you do not see no stock without like the pistol ammo, or without like what I usually see people use online is like no stock with the grenadier barrel and stuff. And to me, I just like using the M4 with 5.56 in our M321 setup, because this is a fun run-and gun setup that I recommend you guys try. Anyways, have a great day, guys. I hope you enjoyed that video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Young Trigger out.